Welcome back, part three, in the final chapter of the greatest hip hop group of all time. Of course, we're talking about the Wu-Tang Clan. So stay tuned, jump in the debate, and let me prove my point.
Are you ready for some controversy? Yeah. Are you ready for some fun? Yeah. Yeah. Are you ready for some laughs? Yeah. Let's get unfiltered with Cycle 4081.
Cycle 4081, and we're back for part three and final of our three-part episode on the greatest hip hop group of all time, the Wu-Tang Clan. Now, again, for those who haven't caught part 1 and 2, we're going to qualify what we consider a group. It has to be at least 3 MCs that actually rap, 3 MCs, or it could be 2 MCs if you have a prominent DJ like a Run-D.M.C, Jam Master Jay, or even Houdini with Grandmaster D. You have to have a prominent active DJ. So we're throwing that in there. But we did talk about the Wu-Tang Clan and the NWA and OutKast and Public Enemy and a lot of the groups, Bone Thugs, Harmony, The Lox. There's a lot of great groups out there, but we're basically confirming what we say is the greatest hip hop group of all time and why. Not just for one reason, but we're saying there's a plethora of reasons why. So let's get into it. We got Demetrix, we got Del the Funky Homo Sapien, aka Pete Jizzle, aka Paul. Welcome back to part 3 of this 3-part episode. So let's get into it. The number 13. This is the reason why I'm saying the Wu-Tang Clan is the greatest group of all time. No hip hop group has ever been as influential and relevant for as long period of time. Now, there's been groups that had longevity, that had influence, but not like the Wu-Tang Clan. Most groups burn bright and then fade away. Why does Wu-Tang Clan continue to matter even today? It's 2026. And they came out, 94, 93? Yeah, Wu-Tang debuted it in 1993 and still remains a recognizable cultural force in 2026 through tours, documentaries, television projects, merchandise, continued public discussion like we have right now on this podcast. Very few groups survive long enough to become legends. But the Wu-Tang Clan survived long enough to become mythology. We're still talking about how great these MCs are, even with some of them that has passed away. So here we are more than 30 years later. Their music is still sampled. The logo is still worn. We talked about the part 2 of this episode. The documentaries are still being watched. And the debates are still happening. Who's the greatest? Who's the greatest MC? Who's the most underrated? Who's the greatest producer? All of those things, the Wu-Tang Clan is mentioned in that. So, we still going to debate who's the best member. We still going to debate who has the best solo album. Me and Paul was talking about that. We was, saying only Built for Cuban Links versus Tikal, or, the first Ghostface album. What was the best Wu-Tang era, and who had the greatest verse? And I think we didn't have a dispute on who had the greatest verse. I think we both agreed that it was Inspector Deck, right? So
agreed. Yes.
Yeah. So who's going to compete with that? Anybody comes close to that? Anybody? Okay. If Winston was here, he would say Run-D.M.C. He would say that. But nobody's recognizable like Wu-Tang Clan with that symbol. That's one. Nobody's wearing people who are nostalgic about hip hop will wear the Run-D.M.C. With the wording, with the line above and below, something like that. But nobody's competing with that.
Right.
Let me ask you, why do you think that the Wu-Tang Clan lasted for so long and their influence lasted for so long?
Because they,
I'm a,
go ahead.
go ahead, Dimitri.
Well, because I think they changed the culture so big. Like I said, it was a culture change. Even what they brought out more of the other cultures, which is the Asian culture, with the Shaolin and stuff like that. And it went on so long. I think that was the impact was just longevity. You know,
So you say with
so that's
the infusion of the Asian the kung fu flicks and everything. Do you watch kung fu flicks now? Any?
no, what I did when they came.
I'm gonna say I
I
watch
like
them.
I watched
I watch them now.
I watched Bruce Lee.
I watch, you talking about the
Yeah.
70s and the early 80s. I watch them to this day. I watch Shaolin versus the Wu-Tang. I watch Enter the 36 Chambers or 36 Chambers, aka Master Killer. I'm watching all of these shows today. Like if I was sitting at home on Netflix or was it the Amazon thing, I'm watching those kung fu flicks. Looking at a young Jackie Chan, a young Bolo Ewan, if I'm getting that right. Everybody knows Bolo. Watching a Bruce Lee, watching the Five Deadly Venoms, if y'all remember that. So I think that in itself will always put them in the conversation, but I think you're looking at what brought them out is that documentary, not the docudrama, whatever you want to call it, the biopic that was on TV about the Wu-Tang Clan, and you got some members that still are like RZA is producing movies and starring in movies. He has another one coming out. I forgot what he called it, but there's another one coming out. And then you got Method Man. Method Man's in acting in movies, television. He's doing everything, right? As far as the other ones, I know they still perform. They still do tours. All of them do tours, but I think they stay relevant because they had such a strong persona.
Yes.
I don't think that'll ever go away.
I think the reason why they're still relevant now because what they did, they created almost an aura, almost like a mystical aura. It was like they were the superheroes. They were actually rap superheroes in the hood.
Dude,
Like
the super friends of rap.
if you right. So if you watch superheroes or supervillains, like the Justice League or Marvel, each superhero was a part of the group, but they had each individual type of particular superpower, different type of look.
Right.
That's how you look at it with Wu-Tang. You had RZA, Jizza, Method, Raekwon, Ghost, Inspector Deck, ODB, U-God, Capadonna. All of them were part of the makeup of this super powerful group, but individually they had their own individual superpowers.
Right. What just
So that resonates. That resonates.
To add on to that, or what I was saying earlier too, that you got the Jizza, the genius, that's going out there doing shows, appearing on science shows, with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and doing lectures at prominent universities talking about astrophysics or whatever. And then you have
molecular science and things like that.
So I think that in itself always keeps them relevant. Then you got one of the most iconic incidents that ever happened in music history was when ODB went up there and took the mic, and said Wu-Tang was for the children. He spent some money on his outfit and everything because he didn't win. And I don't understand how they did not win that year, but that's neither here nor there. But that's always going to be replayed over and over again. I don't care. When you talking about that's history. It's going to be replayed. You know, you had Method Man who played in one of the most popular television series on HBO, The Wire. You know, and some of the other things. Plus, you know, he has a prominent online presence. You know, with his workout stuff, and you know, he has a new merchandise. I just saw him the other day when, you know, he had put a video out or picture, and he had his T-shirt and he was talking about fitness. And I noticed in the comments, everybody was saying, where can I get that T-shirt? You know, because he had the upside down Wu-Tang for the M, right? The W for the M, and it said muscle. So I'm like, oh, I said that. I even commented on there and said, oh yeah, where can I get that T-shirt? You know, maybe that'll excuse me, maybe that'll inspire me to actually go get some muscles to fill out the T-shirt. So you do have all of that you know brings in the next generation.
He's been in movies also.
He was in the movies.
He was in a couple of movies, How High, and
yes. Belly. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So and again, that reaches a whole new generation of viewers and listeners. Not to mention, they just come off a world tour, something along those lines, like their final finale.
Yeah.
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 So that in itself, you know, I think will always keep them in the conversation. But number 14, hip hop will be different if Wu-Tang never existed. Imagine no gritty Staten Island sound. Nobody who heard of Staten Island as far as hip hop before them. Nobody. I can't recall anybody.
Nobody.
Exactly. And then no kung fu influence, like we said earlier. No clan, that structure they had, and I don't know if anybody's doing it today, but that is the blueprint that they laid out. So if they're not doing it, they need to jump on it. No independent business model, right? Then, well, how much of modern rap traces back to the Wu-Tang DNA? Now, Paul jumped on that, you know, said he actually uses their business model as an example for what he does. So I'm saying they changed everything, and it'll from now to the future, until I guess somebody comes along and changes it again. They're gonna look back at that and say, okay, you know, they broke the mold, they did what they did. You know, I'm gonna do the same thing, or I can do that. They made it possible for people to think that they could do that. And I know people mentioned, like, you know, Soulja Boy, how he made his mark by using YouTube. And he had a little scheme that he was doing. He would title his music as if somebody else was doing it, and then when they clicked on it, it would be his music. So that was pretty, you know, I don't even call it shiesty, but I thought it was smart. So he did that. He used the technology that we use today. Not to mention. Let's say,
just imagine if Wu-Tang used this technology, and this was going on during that time when they were coming up. How bigger they would have been.
But they were. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they were. The RZA was on the cutting edge before everybody knew what was going on. Like, he was implementing digital technology, marketing strategy. Right. How to use streams, how to do that before so many other artists. Now, I will say this: Soulja Boy, he did use social media to a higher level, you know, as far as marketing. But he learned that he got the blueprint from how Wu-Tang marketed their merchandise, how they were marketed. So, and if you look at, here's a couple artists I can say use the business model that a Wu-Tang has. You got to look at 50 Cent.
Okay.
You got to look at Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at
definitely Jay-Z.
you got to look at Kanye. You have to look at who else? Who else? Let's see, Drake. You it
Oh,
you got to look at Nipsey Hussle.
the Cash Money folks.
Yeah,
Baby.
how they structure their
Yes.
deals, how they structure their deals, how they create a group, but they also created independent personas.
Right.
How they separated merchandise, individual marketing, but it was all tied back to the
The
group
group.
identity.
Right.
And another thing, the way they leveraged these albums to these music record labels, like Brian said earlier, these record labels was raping these artists.
Yeah.
But Wu-Tang had finished products of all these albums. Like, hey, we got a finished product. So here's the thing: you didn't have to come in there and production time and give them money for this and this and that. No, all they said was, we got the finished product. Your job is to promote and market the individual product.
Right.
That's your job.
Right.
So use that marketing budget on that. So what did that do? Because they used the marketing budget, sole marketing budget on that, all that other money went to the artist
Mm-hmm.
and the brand.
Did you know they had they called the Wu Mansion over in California? So
A Wu
basically,
Mansion?
yeah. So basically, when they were working on their projects, everybody went there, and they stayed there. So all the
Oh
members,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
yeah,
they
they
yeah.
showed
stayed
that
there.
in the show.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
So and I haven't seen the show yet because I didn't have access to whatever they was playing it on, but I'm definitely going to pick that up soon. But yeah, they had the Wu Mansion, and they where they can get away without the distractions. The studio was
Mhm.
there. You didn't have to worry about logging in studio time. It was there. They had 24-hour access to it to go in there and lay down that stuff. That's another RZA genius, right? Who does that? Anybody know? I know. I don't know anybody who did that. To be
Kanye
honest.
does it.
Oh, he did. He does that.
You talking about a central location where everybody goes to.
Yes.
Kanye has a mansion in Montana where everything's set up. The artists fly out and they
Okay.
kind of it's like a where they just cook up songs and get all the projects done and stuff like that there.
I knew he had the mansion up
Wait,
there, but
didn't
I didn't.
uh didn't didn't
Go ahead.
or didn't Puff do that with making a band? Didn't he have like a
No.
mansion where they went and they
Well, no, that was for TV. That was
Right.
for TV
That
purposes.
was a yeah TV
The,
thing.
the, the,
It was
yeah,
oh
like the
but
real world.
but but it was like a is so the way Wu Tang did it, like Brian was saying with the Wu Tang Mansion, it was an all in one pod where you can go there, where you get everything done, your production manager, all that stuff done. Kanye doesn't do, he just does the production and the music.
Okay.
Wu Tang did everything, everything.
So again, changing the game to me. If you have any hip hop artist, group, producer, executive that comes in and changes the game, to get pioneer status, they're always going to have a spot in the hip hop Hall of Fame in my book. So, you know, again, that's a
Hold on,
conversation.
hold on. And if I'm correct, they are getting inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know about the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, but they were nominated for
No,
the
no, 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 no. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh, excuse me.
right.
Rock
They
rock
they
rock
they
yeah.
they are one of the inductees into the the 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I thought they came up short on the vote count.
No, they came up short. I'm gonna tell you. Here's the funny thing. Who the biggest vote getters was?
Who?
LL Cool J, right? Was one of them, right?
No, he was already in there.
No, this year. New Edition had the most votes, but
Yes.
they did not get inducted.
How?
Wu-Tang came in third. Wu-Tang came in third and are inducted.
Wait a minute.
Oh wow.
How did New Edition not get in there if they had the?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
I mean, that's crazy.
Because I know the members were promoting it to get votes for fan votes, and I got in there and I was checking up on it, and I thought that they might have been like one or two from the cutoff.
I
Somebody,
thought they were shoo-in. I thought they were actually shoo-in.
I thought they should be, just because obviously we wouldn't be here talking about them and everything. But I'm gonna look that up real quick because I'm curious.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
I'm looking it up right now. Okay. Yeah. The Phil Collins,
Mm-hmm.
Billy Idol,
Well deserved.
Iron Maiden, Oasis, Sade, Luther Vandross, Wu-Tang Clan.
I see. Okay. Kudos to the Wu. Okay. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't have the votes when I saw it. So I'm glad they're in there. It's well deserved. Well deserved. And then I see some of the other ones. Rick Rubin for the Musical Excellence Award. Ed Sullivan.
Yeah,
Ed
Rick Rubin.
You know, some of these.
Then you got the early influence award. You got Queen Latifah, MC Light, and then you got the Spanish Cecilia Cruz and Graham Parsons. But
Fela Kuti.
yeah, Wu-Tang's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's awesome. And I know people are going to be protesting that because they don't think, a lot of people out there don't think that hip hop artists or anybody who's not rock and roll belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But obviously the criteria changed, and then they include all genres in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, that was what number was that 14? Point number 14?
14.
14.
well, they included at one point. I thought it was LL Cool J and the Beastie Boys.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and definitely LL definitely belongs in there. And let me tell you, just on a side note about LL, but we're not talking about groups, but side note. When it comes to hip hop, his influence was major when he came out with his first two albums. He took, not saying he created that look, that style, but when he came out with it, everybody wanted to emulate him. From people who didn't know
The Kango, the gold chain.
right? But even though MC Shan was known for that first, the Kango and the Pumas, right? Then LL Cool J came out, and that was a little rivalry about that. So Shan ended up wearing mix matched Pumas. That was his thing. But as far as like the influence, worldwide influence, he brought that out. Not only that, where were the love songs, the hip hop love songs before LL?
That's a good question.
Yep.
That's a good one.
He had on his his first album.
Right.
He had him on his second album. That became a thing. And there's some other artists that followed suit, but I think if he wasn't the first, he was among the first to actually bring it out. But anyway, back to the Wu.
His song was the most successful.
Yes, absolutely. I Need Love was definitely one of the most successful ones.
If there was no LL, there's no Ja Rule. Put it like that.
Well, I think Ja Rule was
If
more or
there's
less.
no LL, there's no Drake. There's no Drake.
No, but I'm talking about far as the rapping and dancing, like the rapping and dancing, like that whole thing.
Listen,
Making the love songs, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no LL, I'm gonna tell you something. If there's no LL, Drake, 50 Cent, Ja Rule all had these little melodies, singing, rapping, love song type thing, all different variations. So if there was no LL, then you wouldn't have any of that.
Right.
Well, big up to Uncle L. Right. So number 15, and this was kind of what Paul was alluding to back in part 2 of this episode. Wu-Tang turned hip hop into high art. Now, here's what I mean. Their album, Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, was produced as a single copy work, which you mentioned, single copy work of art, and sold for approximately $2 million before being later resold. No other major rap group turned an album into a museum-style art piece. Now, honorable mention on that. Well, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, there's somebody bought the
Martin Scarelli. Martin Scarelli.
Yeah, and he later got in trouble for something else too, by the way. But
yeah.
I think it was drug price gouging or something like that. But yeah. So automatically he brought the rights to that, and only one I can think of that came close to doing something like that was when Jay-Z, I think it was T-Mobile or one of the phone companies, bought the rights.
It was Verizon.
It was Verizon.
Yeah.
Okay. So what that did, like everybody who had they're not the only one, but everybody who had a subscription or was a subscriber to the telephone company had access to the album. So automatically, before you even crank out one, you go platinum. Only other people I remember doing that was U2, the rock group U2. But yeah, that was genius. So, okay. Do you think, the question I'm going to ask you guys, do you think that was actual genius or the most pretentious thing hip hop has ever done? Like I said, and they're not the only ones who did it, but I don't know who came first. But basically, do you think that strategy was genius? Then I'm gonna give you my opinion on it.
I think it was because you have to understand where we're at in music, as far as streaming.
Right.
Streaming platforms give artists 3 cents on every stream, right? So basically, by doing that, you was able to bypass the streaming politics or bypass the streaming platforms and get the full money without any cuts and percentages and things like that. I thought it was genius because essentially what it did was it eliminated the middleman in the whole process.
Genius. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna say it's genius, but I'm gonna tell you why I was not happy with that.
Can I tell you mine real fast?
Oh yeah, sure.
When you say genius, are you talking about the art form?
No, I'm talking about
saying
the way they did it, the way the business model, basically. Not so much what was in that. Cause I'll be honest, I don't even. Has anybody even heard any of the cuts from there yet? I haven't. But I'm gonna tell you why I was mad. I didn't like the idea because I was mad that one person could take the rights to a Wu-Tang album, which was highly anticipated by some of the fans, and hold on to it, basically, ransom basically the music. People wanted to hear that, and I think the artists themselves was kind of upset that happened because, why go in there and record a record for somebody to hold it and not actually put it out, and then you run the risk of putting out music later on that may not be as popular. The style may not be as popular. Something else might be more popular. So I think that was the controversy of that. And you know what? Sad to say that, in hip hop, a lot of times it's what's here and now, not what comes out later. You got to be in the here and now because it changes so much. And, people, they don't give hip hop artists a fair shake when it compares to other genres of music. So Yeah, but then back to what Paul was saying about the streams. The streams, I'm looking it up because I was like, man, I heard something different. They all have different money, but it's actually not 3 cents. It's 0.07. So you get up to a penny.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like, all right, title gives up to 1.5 cents. Apple gives up to 1 cent. Amazon Music gives up to 0.5 cents. Spotify gives up to 0.5 cents. YouTube Music gives up to 0.2 cents. So that's less than a penny. So, like you said, if you can get your sales, you can sell out a whole album before it even hits the market. You automatically have success. And you're getting your dollars ahead of time. So I understand that part, but for the people who love the music, who was, waiting to hear it, you want to hear it right then and there, So I want to try to hear the guy holding on to the work of art and keeping it to himself. Why? Yeah.
What they did was essentially create hip hop, what they call Van Gogh painting.
Yes.
Or they that one project became as valuable an asset like a very expensive valuable painting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Basquiat. It's like a Basquiat painting
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's all well and good, but for the fans who want to listen to the music, some of them still pissed. Me. So, all right, so let's get into the Wu-Tang Clan, and we already established, the different reasons why we say that they are the greatest hip hop group of all time, and it's not just because of the numbers the units that they sold, or the merchandise, or the production, or the number of members. It's a combination of all of those, because no other group can fit that bill in all of those categories. So now we established that. Now, but I'm going to ask you guys this. Who is the most underrated member of the Wu-Tang Clan? Who do you think?
Ooh, I think. Can I go first?
Sure.
I would say the Genius.
The Genius? Why the Genius?
Because he was a lyricist phenomenon, and I think he got overshadowed by combination of Method, Ghostface.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it's like D Wade getting overshadowed, and he wasn't overshadowed, but it's like when the Miami Heat came together, LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. Like everybody was more focused on LeBron and Chris Bosh, because they just got there,
Right.
But D Wade was like he was, it's easy to get overshadowed when you got other lyricists that's that
Talented.
that deep.
Yeah. Right.
Right. So that's what I would say.
Okay. So, okay, and I'm gonna go around the table, but remember, we have, like you said, the Jizza, we have Master Killer, we have You God, we have Inspector Deck, obviously Raekwon and Ghostface, RZA, ODB. So we have, and of course the Method Man, who's probably one of the most popular of the group. So we definitely can't put him in there. But who do you say is the most underrated, Paul?
I'm going to say I love them all, but Raekwon to me is the most underrated.
So you're saying he's the most now, mind you, we're not saying that they okay, all right. So you say Raekwon's the most underrated. So
well,
I'm gonna say that can't be possible only because he had a two albums, right?
Commercial success.
Yeah, he had commercial success. Um, Now he didn't get into all the other things, I don't think, but he definitely had commercial success. And when people are talking about great albums, his is
Yeah.
mentioned.
Well, if we we do that, if we say okay, as far as underrated, I'm going to say Capadonna.
Okay, Capadonna. Now,
I'm going to say Capadonna
okay, now why Capadonna?
because every time Capadonna was very a lyrical powerhouse
Okay,
inside the group, but I don't feel like Capadonna got the push or the exposure that he should have got. Now, it happens when you're in, of course, in a 9-man group.
right. Yeah.
If Capadonna was an individual, Capadonna would have been a very high selling solo artist.
Okay. So I'm gonna say now I'm gonna have a counter to everybody's answer, but I'm gonna say
I
Capadonna.
know what you're going to say.
Well, I'm not gonna give mine yet, but I'm gonna say why I'm gonna debate yours. I'm gonna say
Oh, yeah.
Capadonna wouldn't be the most underrated because I don't think that he was um the in the tops of that who didn't get the most who didn't get commercial play or whatever. I'm gonna go as far as saying that as far as lyricist goes in the group, he's probably arguably the third from the bottom. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say only person that was less. Not, and I say all of them were good. So that's kind of hard to gauge. But I'm gonna say that the only members of that group that probably wasn't as lyrical as Capadonna was maybe You God, Master Killer, and I'm gonna say ODB. However, ODB got commercial success. ODB was a household name, right? So he can't be in that. He can't be in that conversation. So now I'm gonna tell you this: the one time I always thought he was the one of the weakest members of the Wu-Tang Clan, Capadonna. But I'm gonna tell you, it was one cut that he showed out, and I can't remember. I'm thinking it's called Winter Winds or something along those lines. Winter Wars.
Yeah, something like that. With the wars, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. That's when I think the first time I actually saw him, basically just blow it up and say, okay, yeah, he got it. He can do it. He got it. Maybe again trying to share that time and that spotlight with 9 different dudes is hard anyway. But yeah, but Marky, what do you say? Who's the most underrated Wu-Tang member? Oh, he must have left out. All right.
It's
No,
like
I'm still
this.
here. I'm
It's like
still
this.
here.
Oh, there you go.
I'm
Okay.
still here. The most underrated.
Yes.
Um. Well, you kind of you took my whole argument. Um. Inspector Deck just started getting over the past, I say, 10 years. But
Mm-hmm.
ever since they found out that was him on that Tupac song
Oh yeah.
at the end,
Mention that. Mm-hmm.
INS the rebel. When they put that up there and people found out who he was and what that meant, um, he kind of it was light brought to his lyrics.
All right.
Um, you God, I would say you God. He was the one that was always in, and only because he was in trouble a lot.
Right.
He was locked up or out of the spotlight for other reasons. But when he showed up, he showed out. I
Okay.
think Master Killer. It would have been Master Killer. Capadon, believe it or not, I think he's one of the best, but he's more of that. His come out when he's battling,
Mm-hmm.
more of going against someone.
Right.
And then you had Method Man, who was necessary for the group because you needed that one big commercial, that LL Cool J style that all the women love.
Right.
The kids will gravitate to.
Right.
And then you had the gritty, like he's gritty, but his lyrics touch your heart. You had that Raekwon, not Raekwon, Ghostface.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had that Nas type that they were compiled in a certain way, and the RZA knew what he was doing. You had that Nas type, which was Raekwon.
Mm-hmm.
You only understood it if you lived it.
Okay.
Um, then RZA was he he wasn't a great lyricist. He was a producer with really good lyrics, and he got better after like Method Man.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I don't think none of them can hold a candle to Method Man as far as lyrics. Right now, I don't know if you listened to Method Man recently,
Yes.
like the past 3 years. I don't think none of them can hold a candle to him. Maybe Raekwon and Ghost together, but the way Meth is rapping now, none. I wish he was rapping like that back then, but he
Okay.
probably wouldn't be so commercial. So to answer you,
You
You God
got.
is the one. You God and I can't really say him. It's Master Killer, but You God was for a different reason. And
Okay.
Old Dirty Bastard was what you needed at the time. Everybody had a Flavor Flav. But if
Right.
you really pay attention to what flavor, you get away from the antics. Take the singing and the half hairdo and listen to his lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a lot of sense. It
Okay.
may not rhyme all the time, but it makes a lot of sense. Same thing for Flav.
Right.
So yeah, it's Master Killer.
Okay.
But he's not trash.
So
He's just
yeah. So we gonna all agree that none of them are trash. None of them.
right.
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 So
Yeah, I know. The unofficial Wu-Tang member, man. I don't know well, y'all ain't remember this. Y'all from Jersey, right?
yeah.
Oh man, Red Man. He's the unofficial member, man. He's
No.
one of the they call him an unofficial.
Nah. He.
They call him the tenth Wu-Tang member
Yeah. He
because
wasn't part.
he's always with them and it's like no, I know he wasn't with them,
Yeah.
but I gotta throw my boy in there though.
So I'm gonna tell you, I agree with what you said and how the different varieties of the Wu Tang. But I'm gonna tell you why. When you were saying that, I was like, man, maybe I need to change my mind on what I was gonna say. First and foremost, I'm gonna say the most underrated Wu Tang member is Inspector Deck, and the reason why is from the time he's put his voice on their, into the Wu Tang album and the singles and the mixtape or whatever, he's been one of the better lyricists on, every song that he's touched. However, this what makes him underrated. He's never mentioned. That's one, and two.
They're mentioning him now, though, Brian. They're giving him his flowers now.
Now, but when you look at his contributions to other artists,
Yeah.
then and here's what makes him underrated. Okay, they mention him now, but he's when I look at social media and we talk about these in different groups and talking about the greatest MCs and this and that, whatever. One name which I was shocked that always popped up when he talked about Inspector Deck always has the hottest verse, always, right? But on his own commercially, he's not known. He's getting a little buzz now, but that's after his prime. But he's not known because obviously he had the tragedy of the flood and ruined his album, and in compared to the RZA, the Jizza, Iron Man, Tony Stark's, Raekwon, ODB, his album didn't do well. And same thing with You God as well. But I didn't think You God was, when you talk about comparing them, I don't think You God was even close to Inspector Deck. Method Man himself, if you asked him, and they did, he'll tell you who's the best MC. The top three, his top three favorite MCs. He said, number 1, Inspector Deck. Number 2, Inspector Deck. Number 3, Inspector Deck. To me, he's in that inner circle, and that gives him a lot more power when it comes to that. But I'm gonna say also that people sleep on as an MC. Now I'm kind of floating now because I just thought about this. The RZA, when he gets on his song, he don't always get in there with every song, like, because obviously, you're splitting time with 9 dudes and you're the producer. Obviously, you're trying to get everybody that shine. But when he does, he hits a home run. And then, like I said, one of my favorite albums, was the Gravediggers. It was his contribution on that. Now I'm gonna tell you, be honest. I wasn't into. I bought the Bobby Digital album CD. I was not impressed. I was actually kind of disappointed, but I think he was trying to change himself a bit. He didn't. He kind of got away from what he was with the Wu-Tang Clan, and Gravediggers was just totally off the charts. But yeah, I'm definitely going to say Inspector Deck, only because I think he was such a powerful voice and a powerful lyricist, and he didn't get the commercial success that he should have as compared to the more popular Clan members. So.
All right, let me give y'all an analogy. Let me give y'all a quick analogy,
Okay.
so we can. If nine people get in the bed, one or two is going to fall out.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're right. There's only but so much time. You can't have 8-minute songs on there and all your stuff, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, I would agree. And like I said, I don't think Master Killer, if I had to say which, I think two of them probably had the least amount of airtime, so to speak. And that would probably have been You God and Master Killer, But, okay. But you see how we could still debate who was the most underrated. So, next question was...
most overrated.
Oh, okay. Overrated. Who was the most over... I know what you're going to say. Let me take a guess. This is Marky. Marky's going to say the most overrated is going to be the RZA.
There you go. And I'm gonna tell you why. And it's something along the lines that Raekwon said. I mean, not Raekwon. Ghost said. Ghost said he was rapping one day, and he heard the guy. I can't remember the guy. The guy's from, I think he's from Queens. He's a fat guy, white guy. Sounds like him. He does this cooking show now. You should know who I'm talking about, Brian. Because Ghost approached him like, man, you sound just like me. Why you rapping like me? And the guy was like, that's just my delivery. And plus, I'm a Wu-Tang fan.
Yes, I forgot his name.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he got a show called This Is Delicious or something. He goes around eating food. And he still freestyles and rap. Now, Ghost said, Raekwon said, Ghost said something like, the way I was rapping, I had to listen to it and say, you know what, step back and apologize to him because that's his real voice. And then I really listened, and he paid homage to me, and some of the songs he did try to sound like me. He said, but I didn't understand what he was saying. He said, then I was wondering why some of the fans were like, Ghost, we don't understand what you're saying when y'all are rapping. When you and RZA rap, some of that stuff, what are y'all talking about? He said he looked at it, he was like, you know what? Some of it, I ain't know what I was talking about. It just sounded like it matched with what RZA was saying. and I listened to some of it, and what gets me about RZA is he's Bobby Digital. He's Ooh, I Love You, Rakim.
Right.
He's the RZA. And you can't be top tier, number one in all, well, I guess you can. It's his alter ego. But the stuff he's rapping about, he shines. But he's overrated compared to those. I will put You God in front of him.
Oh no!
And if you give it, hold on, let me finish. I will put You God if you give You God the same beats that you give RZA, like say on a solo project. He's produced the same way Jizz is produced, not Master Killer, because he's just not. Anyway, You God, you give him the same beats. And the same 9 songs, the same 4 minutes for songs used to be 5-6 minutes, 6 minutes for the song, and you tell him go. I think it would be tough, but he would beat out RZA. RZA is some of the stuff I listen to and I hear him say. It's his delivery is not what they think it is. His delivery is not as good, but sometimes his lyrics are great. They're on point. So his flow is. It's off and on, off the record, off the record.
I'm
on
agree
the record,
with you.
Off the record.
I'm agree with you on one part of that, and only because of Bobby Digital. Like I said, I was not impressed with Bobby Digital because I was expecting, the Into the Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah. So that was disappointing. He wanted to do that alter ego and be different. I get it. I get it. However, my love for hip hop music didn't get it. So But again, like when I listen to him on the Gravediggers, his
Rakim, that "Ooh I Love You, Rakim," that
yeah,
that one right there, that was I didn't that was trash. I gotta say that was trash.
Hmm.
That was like he
but
was
you know
like
what?
Luke or
But
somebody.
that was at a time where just people were trying to get on, just to get a a album. So
Yeah,
I don't hold that against him. Um, it was a crafty song. Just that at that time you came out with a
he
different
was
type
like
of song.
Akinelli at the time. He was hey, Paul. He was similar to Akinelli at the time.
Yeah, well, I like Akinelli, but if you listen to his lyrics when he does the Gravediggers, and you listen to him on, let's for example, I'm all of the songs I'm gonna say you listen to him, he's on point, except for one
Uh,
song that I going back to what you were saying about the lyrical content when he was on Triumph, his part on
okay.
Triumph.
Oh no,
I thought that was the weakest lyrics that I've heard from him. Not saying it was whack, but from him,
right.
it didn't compare to the rest of them that was on that song. You know.
But then you got to listen to him. You're saying Gravediggers.
Oh yeah, Gravediggers
That's
definitely.
like all right. That's like saying with Biggie. You go back to Biggie. You put him up there with Lil C's. He sounds good. I mean with Junior Mafia. Of course, they're like a couple steps down. The Gravediggers were good, but
Well,
they weren't
I'm
they
not
weren't
I'm
the
not
Wu Tang.
comparing him to the other members of the Gravediggers because honestly,
No. I'm just saying he's shining the way he shined on, let's say, 9 out of 10 songs.
right,
He should shine on them. It's like Tupac and the Outlaws. Tupac should shine on everything that the Outlaws is on.
right.
There should not be one of them that's better than him at all.
Well,
And that's how I kind of looked at the Gravediggers.
I think the Gravediggers, um, I think they were very evenly. I'm gonna say evenly, but I just like their whole vibe, how they matched together, and the
Yeah,
creativity was great. And when you talk about lyrics, they actually
right.
had you could hear a character, you know, Diary of a what was it called, Diary of a Madman or whatever. That was acting, not just rapping. That was whole acting. That was a whole a thought that was given.
It's like it's like that Carmen show that hip opera. That's basically what it
Yes,
was, hip
yeah,
opera.
yeah. But I'm gonna say the most overrated out of the group, the most overrated, and that means that they had big commercial success, but they weren't that great. I'm gonna say the most overrated was "Oh Dirty Bastard."
Mm. Ah, I knew you were gonna say
Yeah,
that.
I agree 100%.
you agree 100%.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And let me
I
Was
just,
he overrated? Was he overrated, Paul?
I
Go
disagree with
ahead.
all y'all. I disagree with all y'all on that.
Well,
okay.
I
Paul, I
definitely
want to ask
don't think
Paul
he's
this.
a.
Paul, my bad, me. I want to ask Paul this. Um, while you dipping your snuff, Paul, do you think he was overrated, or do you think? I mean, you think he was overrated, or do you think he was ahead of his time? Like they seem to think that, like Young Thug right now, never liked Young Thug. One day I'm in the car and I
Ditto.
was like, man, I got nothing to listen to. So I listened to Young Thug. Some of the stuff he's doing lyrically, and he's his flow is everywhere. But some of the things he's saying lyrically and some of the things he's doing with the music and with his tone and his rapping with the music, some of the stuff he's done 3 years ago, 4 years ago, they're just now starting to do it now. I'm
I
thinking
agree on Young.
ODB was
I
similar.
agree on Young Thug. I agree on Young Thug. The reason why I agree on ODB being overrated is because ODB was his shock value was attractive.
Yes, the gimmick.
Um, the way
Yeah, okay, you
the,
got me.
the way he, the way he looked in the camera all crazy and stuff
Right.
like that, and saying his words all crazy and stuff like that. That was that's why R&B artists they ran to get ODB on a collab because it added a shock value to
Yes.
it. Mariah Carey, Mariah in any universe, Mariah Carey is not going to partner with ODB, but for the fact that ODB was so hot because of his controversy, shock value, and just the way his persona was.
Right.
It wasn't that it wasn't that ODB was a great. I mean, I'm not saying he was he wasn't good, but he wasn't a lyricist as compared to the other members. But
Right.
because ODB was so cut from a different, so far off the right from everybody else, it was everybody. It was appealing because ODB was like the black sheep or the rebel that everybody gravitated towards.
Right. Right. Now, even given the shock value, take it away. He was no different from a Biz Markie and how Biz Markie did his things, right? For the 80s, he had that little shock value. You know, ODB took it way
we can't do
another
that, Brian.
level. Huh?
We can't do that. I think Biz Markie was way more talented than ODB.
Well, no. I'm just mentioning the shock value that Paul mentioned
Oh, okay.
for his time and his
right.
the
And Flavor
antics.
Flav, yeah.
Yes,
And Flavor
yes,
Flav,
yeah.
yeah.
But definitely, Biz was a wait a minute, let me tell you, Biz was actually a great DJ. So
And a great producer. He produced
Yes.
and wrote a lot of stuff. Most people wrote for him, but he was a great producer.
yeah, Kane wrote his hits. Put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, but
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to disagree with all of y'all on this. I think ODB was one of the best lyrics and Wu-Tang. I don't care what y'all say.
wait a minute, wait. Time out. Stop the press.
I mean,
The
put that
press is
snuff
stopped.
down. Don't dip snuff no
The press is
more.
stopped. And I guarantee you, I can have a lot of people agree with me on that.
I guarantee you,
Those
there's
is
not
kids.
one hip hop
It
head.
wasn't.
Those
That-
are his
I
kids that's agreeing.
guarantee you, and it ain't the what Paul say, the persona,
the
what
shock
did he
value.
say? The shock value. It ain't no damn shock value. His lyrics, his lyrics, he was one of the best.
Let me
on
ask you
there.
something.
Stop it. Stop
Give me
it.
one
Stop
line.
it.
Give me one line. Give me one ODB line.
Recite.
I disagree with all of y'all.
Recite one
I
of
disagree
his.
with y'all.
Recite one of his classic lines.
First say first, man. You're fucking with the words. I'll be sticking pins like a fucking nurse. Like, whatever. Y'all
Okay.
looking at
Big yawn.
Maybe y'all got your money. That's what y'all looking at.
No.
Y'all
His-
trying to throw that on them.
Let me tell you this.
I'm
ODB.
ODB did not write that. ODB did not write that.
ODB, if you look at most of his lyrics and his songs, like I say most of them, a lot of them didn't make no sense. It was all over the place. I keep shit stains in my drawer so I can get fizzy funky for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
That's crafty and everything and all that, but his stuff was all over the
Why
place.
you gotta bring that point up?
Hey,
You know what? I could say that about Lil Wayne too.
oh, we ain't talking about Lil
Everybody
Wayne.
think a lot of people think Lil Wayne is one of the best lyricists of all time.
And I disagree with that 100%.
Yeah, I disagree too.
I know, but I'm saying a lot of people don't disagree on that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I could say that about Lil Wayne because a lot of stuff he said it ain't make.
Well, his
sense.
style was his style was a little different, but when we talking about the most overrated, we're talking about somebody who had huge commercial success, but compared to the other members lyrically, he can't lyrically. Is no way he can compare to any of the other members at all. When I say any,
and that's even Master Killer.
Exactly.
Nah, you're wrong on that, Mark. You're wrong on that.
I'm serious.
If you listen to Master Killer, his stuff is scientific,
Substance.
right?
And a lot of substance.
Absolutely.
Have y'all listened to Old Dirty Bastard?
Unfortunately,
exactly.
yes.
That's why we're saying he's the most overrated.
Old dirty bastard.
No.
Dirty bastard.
No, you should do a poll. You should do a poll, Brian, on who thinks, like them out there, put in the comments. Do they think Old Dirty Bastard was up there with? I'm not saying he was better than Method Man, but he was up there with Method Man.
No, he wasn't.
No, are you talking about lyrically? You talking about lyrically?
Lyrically, I'm not talking about.
We getting you drug tested.
He was the most popular. He was the most popular, but he was not lyrically, not for his lyrics.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
We
lyrically.
getting
I
you. We
Boy,
getting
guarantee.
you
you are,
drug tested.
boy, you, boy,
Yeah.
you on that
I
thing.
guarantee.
You on that
I,
thing. And
gu-
I ain't talking
I,
about
gu-
Big Daddy. You
I
on that
guarantee.
thing.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you. People will agree with me.
Well,
Well, you
A
left.
well,
lot.
you know, if
A lot.
they're gonna if they agree with you, it's because again, like we were saying, he was popular. He had shock value. He had all these different things, and he was entertaining. But lyrically, I can
No,
tell
I'm
you,
talking about lyrically. Lyrically,
bro. Let me tell
they're
you.
gonna agree
Let me
with.
tell you. When it let's say this. Let's say this. I'm gonna go on the record and saying, like I said, all the Wu-Tang Clan members was great. I think were great, right? But when you talk about lyrics, I will tell you by far and wide, he's not even close to the top. Not even close. If you're talking about lyrics, I'm gonna go maybe, there's four that could be in that conversation. And there's some in the
Old
mid
Dirty
range.
Flag. Old
I
Flash.
He's
disagree.
last.
I
He's last.
disagree. I
Old
disagree.
Dirty
Yeah,
Flag.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
disagree with that. I disagree with that. The way Stephen A. Smith disagreed with
Old
LeBron being the
Dirty,
GOAT over Jordan.
listen,
I would
Old
take that to the
Dirty
grave.
Flag.
Yeah,
Old Dirty
I,
Flag. Lyrically,
no,
Old Dirty Flag. We talk about,
Paul,
we talk about
You judging him off his name, Old Dirty.
No, we not.
You just think he
no,
dirty.
no,
No.
me,
Look,
no.
I'm
I'm,
No.
telling
I'm,
you,
I'm, I'm here to tell you that old dirty bad. Look, I root for.
and I'm here to tell
Man,
you that he's one of the best lyricists in that group.
I'm here to
Period.
tell you, his son, and his ex-wife are the only ones who think that. Then nobody else is thinking that, man.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
not. Just listen to
Ah.
uh,
his lyrics.
Brian, do a pull, do a side
All
pull.
right. Well, I'm gonna
hold
do
on,
that.
hold on. Yeah, I did a poll. I did a poll, and it said that just like Marky said, you, his son, wife,
You ain't do
and the
no pull
lady,
within
and,
5 minutes.
and the
You
lady,
ain't do no
and the lady
pull.
in Las Vegas, and the lady in Las Vegas, they, they, they the only ones that agree with you.
Yeah, man, I can't give you that meat. I can't give you that meat. I'm
You
with
ain't
you on a
gotta give
lot
it
of
to me.
stuff, but I can't
I'm
give you that.
taking it. I'm taking it.
All
You
right.
ain't gotta
Well,
give it. I'm
okay.
taking it.
He's going on the record, but I'm
I'm
gonna say,
staying on that.
you keep saying that, people gonna want you to get drug tested. So
Yes, yeah. Let me know where
I
you apply for a
guarantee
job.
you.
Hey, let me
Listen,
know where you apply
listen.
for a job.
Okay,
I'll give you the
put it
yarn.
like this. Brian, do a pool, and I want an apology from all yes.
Okay, and look, and when it comes out like we're saying it does, we don't want you to deny it no more. We want you to say that he's overrated, and the poll is right.
exactly, exactly.
Okay, okay,
All
Oh,
right.
and one more
So
okay,
thing: when if you go for a drug test, let me know so I can give you my urine because you ain't gonna pass with yours.
okay. All right.
ODB writes his lyrics in crayons. Come on, dude.
Right?
Listen,
I told
let
you,
it.
I told Brian,
What's that?
like I told
What's
Brian,
that?
the problem with some people is they eat too much
Uh,
processed food.
listen,
You are an example of eating too
listen.
much
What's
processed
that?
food.
Listen. What's that? Paul McCartney said from the Beatles. That song, "Let It Be."
Let it be. We gonna
Let
let
it.
it be. We gonna let it be. But
We're gonna
you-
bookmark this. We're gonna bookmark this right
All,
now.
exactly.
all of y'all gonna be apologizing. I'm telling you.
Okay, so here's a. This is gonna be my final question. Well, actually, I have two. Um, Going back to the underrated of Wu Tang Clan and the overrated. Do you think some members got overshadowed because the group had too much talent?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think. What? Dang. Yeah, yeah. That and the popularity. What I like about Wu Tang is when you were popular, they weren't with who was popular, who was doing the most, and that's whose album was coming out. They had numbers. I forgot how to. Brian, you really got to watch that Wu Tang saga. Like they have, let's say GZA album's supposed to come out because Method Man, Raekwon, and Ghost came out. GZA's next, and then RZA. Well, Method Man was so popular, he done sold all these millions. They crying Method Man, Method Man. Okay, Jizz, instead of you coming out next, we're gonna put you after Meth new album, but we're gonna feature you on this album. They did stuff like that, so they listened to the fans, which was smart, and that right there kind of stopped some of the other artists from coming out.
Mm.
Like some of the ones that weren't as popular. There's like 3 episodes when they're talking about that. You God gets upset, he goes and does his thing. That's when he gets locked up. And like when you're watching the shows, like a big Wu-Tang video, everything that ever happened in the video that they talked about, that's what's going on in the saga.
Okay, I I can get with that. And I fully agree that some of them had to get overshadowed. Again, when you're working with 9 dudes, somebody had to get overshadowed. And Meth came in there and knocked down the door. Raekwon, Ghostface, you know,
As teenagers, these guys were teenagers doing this.
yes,
Old dirty bastard.
yes. ODB too, right? So that's not really a question of he because he had very good commercial success. Where we talking about when you saying he's the best lyricist? We talk about lyricist.
No. I ain't say he's the best lyricist. I said he's up there.
You said he was the
Up
best
there.
lyricist. You said he was the best lyricist in the group.
No. I say he's one of the best.
No, all right.
I didn't say.
Wait a minute. You got 3 people listening to you
Well,
here.
all of them are one of the best. All of them are one of the best. If you want to be honest.
But I'm saying he's one of the out of the top 4. He's up there.
Hands
down.
No. He's not even.
I didn't say
he's
the
not even.
best.
He's not even close to being from the bottom. Not even close. He has the bottom. He has the bottom locked down.
That's blasphemous.
He's the foundation.
Exactly.
Like Stephen A. Smith said, that's blasphemous.
Okay. All right. So my final question. Y'all funny with this ODB top whatever. But anyway. Now we talked about this earlier about commercial success and what makes a group great or artist great. Is it the units they sell, the Grammys they win, or whatever, right? So my question is, despite massive influence and commercial success, Wu-Tang received relatively limited Grammy recognition. Wu-Tang Forever earned a Grammy nomination, and remember that day, you remember that night, while Method Man won a Grammy for his collaborations with Mary J. Blige. Do you think awards determine greatness when it comes down to it, when it's all done and said? Anybody?
I used to, but some of the best don't get their just due. It's clouded now.
Oh, very clouded.
If you look at who's voting, who's on the committee for these rewards or awards, it's really jaded. So I don't think nowadays. I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe in the beginning it was pure,
right?
And when it first started, then that was it. But now I don't think so. I think you actually have to listen to the people at this point, and listen to the people meaning not just the sales, who they showing up for, who they buying merch for, who they're traveling for,
right?
Who they going from one country to another country for. Like you have a whole continent that loves this artist, whoever he or she may be. So I think so that trophy doesn't mean much. And Jay-Z helped us understand that by making a statement. He helped us with that.
Right. I'm gonna tell you what solidified it for me when it comes to awards. When it was a couple white guys. I think it was like Macklemore and whatever the hell their name was.
I know what you're talking about.
When they won the Grammy for best. That was the biggest travesty in music history. So
that was bad.
And I'm like,
that one song about how he dressed. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I got $20 in my pocket.
Yeah, who's voting? Who's voting for these people? And
I'm sorry, y'all. After Dimitri said that, my phone shut me down. my phone kicked me out as soon as you said that.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was.
I had to ask my phone. I had to beg my phone. Your phone. Let me come back in.
Your phone got a lot of sense. He's pissed off right now. Y'all disagreeing with me. That's what it is.
He heard that
my
nonsense.
My phone was tired of hearing that blasphemous stuff.
He's blocking you out now. You ain't getting back in that phone.
So when it comes to awards, I could understand how they would award somebody who had pop success or commercial success when it comes to hip hop, because they didn't know the streets. They didn't know who's going to the the small venues and who's wearing the street stuff and all that type of stuff. I could see that. You would have the Will. Now I'm not knocking Will Smith, like when it was Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, because I love that album. The first two albums was great. So I'm not knocking them for getting the Grammy and, you know, getting the popular recognition, while other groups like, you know, Eric B. and Rakim, Kool Moe D, MC Shan, Boogie Down Productions, and, you know, all those didn't get it.
Yassine Ben. What was his partner name again?
Talib Kweli.
Talib Kweli. They're two of the greatest lyricists to ever rap.
And that's why you know, we can't put it on, you know, the outsiders giving awards, put it that way.
Yeah.
Now if they had like a council of hip hop artists, like, you know, from the 70s to the current time, and they decided to get together and say, hey, we're gonna vote on this, then I could say that's, you know, that's legit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. And there's some artists that are hip hop legends that never won a Grammy. They might have won a Source Award or, you know.
Yep.
So
I can think of one of them. Shout out to my homeboy Mario Mitchell, aka Jasmine Rice. They, you know, he's been in the mix for that, and he hasn't won a Grammy either. So,
well, kudos to Mario. Get your money. All right, so
yeah, they are like a Gangstar. You have Gangstar. You have a lot of Prince Marky D.
Exactly.
Prince Marky D wrote a lot of stuff for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. He surely did. Produced.
He did a lot of stuff for Heavy D, and he did a lot of producing. A lot you would not know. Like, these people are, man, so many legends and so many untold stories, and hip hop gets a raw deal, man, because they expect, like the other night you spoke, they expect us to retire. We have an age limit on hip hop.
Right, that's ridiculous.
Like, you can have like somebody was saying. Well, I think you or Paul was saying you could be 70 years old still singing your hits, but hip hop, they want you to stop. They clown Jay-Z, or he's over 50,
right?
And he's still rapping, but he's better than anything that's under 50.
I agree.
So why can't he still rap?
But Marky, that's funny because it's crazy. That's our community. Our community has been brainwashed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so backward. Bruce Springsteen can go out there right now at 88 years old, right?
Yeah.
Sell out stadiums. Kids can get dressed up in they costumes at 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But then we as a community are talking about, hey, you too old to be rapping. That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's
our
crazy.
community is they need it. Sometimes our community sit down and really, really take a look in the mirror and say, you know what, man, this is why people don't respect us.
Yeah.
So do you think it's more of us? Do you think they're following us? This for all of you, me, Paul, and Brian. Do you think the community is following the popularity? Because the group, I never thought, I only thought it was Jadakiss at first. This whole group, all of them, all three of them are nice. All three of them, the Locks.
Yes, we mentioned that earlier.
They don't get the commercial success,
right,
at all. Even with Jadakiss claiming himself to be top 5 dead or alive, they still won't get the commercial success, but they're better than almost anything on the radio, and it's terrible. Lauryn Hill is better than anything on the radio. Like, we just get, I think it's us.
It's us.
We put a time limit on our own talent and people.
Yeah,
and I don't know. It's frustrating a lot of times.
I think
I find myself listening to the old stuff now. Like Paul said the other day, I get in the car, I listen to the old stuff.
Me too.
There's very few new things that I listen to, but I listen to Slick Rick. I can listen to Slick Rick all day, every day. Big Daddy Kane, Heavy D. I listen to the old Heavy D. Gangstar, Cool G Rap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do it to ourselves.
I think the reason why is that hip hop was traditionally a thing of the youth. It was an art form of the youth, the rebellious youth.
Something about our condition. Yeah.
Okay. and also throwing it was a street thing. So I think when you get somebody who gets up there in age, they're not youthful, and they not by that time. I would hope they're not out there in the streets. But I think that's the the mentality we have when we judge them. But
Remember
I
the drug dealers wanted to be the hip hop artists.
right, and now the
They
hip
they
hop
they
artists want to be
ran to
drug
go and see
dealers.
the R. Yeah, they ran to see the R&B artists and the hip hop artists. They wanted to see them. They wanted the drug dealers wanted to dance,
Right,
But,
but
but,
now the
but
hip
here's the
hop
thing.
artists want to be the drug dealers.
right.
But here's the thing. Hip hop, our community is the only one that don't believe in evolution. Because here's the thing. Why can't the drug dealer or the young street dude talk about evolution as far as I'm in a different plane right now? I'm gonna give an example. Jay-Z don't talk about selling keys and things like that no more.
Right.
He talked about owner property, ownership, leverage. So what he's
Yeah.
doing, he's taking from an evolution his journey. But
We
we be
push them
so
away when they do that. We push them away
yeah,
when
we
they
be
do
so
that.
blinded. We be so blinded that this man giving us jewels. He giving us jewels, but all we keep reverting back to, oh man, he ain't of the streets. They get mad at Jeezy. They get mad at Jeezy because they say, oh, Jeezy shouldn't be rapping, shouldn't be doing that. Jeezy evolved when people say, F the streets. What they saying is that I don't do the street stuff no more.
Right.
That's it. But we so backwards and we so blinded to feel like if somebody talk about the streets at 20 and that they should be talking about the streets at 48.
We feel like we can't change, Paul. Like
Right,
I told Ryan,
exactly.
man, we had a conversation one time on one of the other podcasts. I forgot what it was. And I was saying how when you see somebody and they say, "Oh, you ain't changed. You still the same." It's not a compliment.
No.
They've known you since you were a kid. That's not a compliment. You're the same person they remember in the eighth grade, and you're still doing the same thing. So I don't know. We get stuck. We find a vacuum. We find a spot in the vacuum, and we stay there, and we want everything else to be there.
All right,
So
one answer from you guys. Then we close out. If you had and whoever I go with first, that's fine, but don't pick the same answer as the last person, right? If aliens landed tomorrow and asked for one hip hop group that represents lyrical skill, business intelligence, cultural impact, individuality, longevity, which group are you going to say or present to them? Dimitri.
this was tailored to one group.
Dimitri, go ahead.
Wu-Tang.
Okay, Wu-Tang. Paul?
We can't say the same group.
Nope.
Nope.
Damn.
Just made it hard for y'all.
Yeah.
I damn near sure not gonna say NWA.
Okay. I'm going to say NWA.
No, I said you. I wouldn't say them.
You wouldn't? All right, who you going to say?
I can't say it because Demetri said it.
Well, you got
You
to pick
just gotta
something.
pick somebody else.
You got to pick somebody else.
Oh, okay. Okay. The Locks.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. Thanks.
Mark, who you going with?
I'm gonna go. And they had multiple rappers in there. They had a DJ. They had two DJs actually, and then them couple MCs. Boogie Down Production.
Okay. No. They can't qualify.
BDP. I can't use.
No.
They don't qualify.
Because
Why not?
It was only one rapper.
No. What was his wife's name? That was in the big lady. What was his wife's name?
She wasn't in actual Boogie Down Boogie Down Productions.
Boogie Down Production.
No. Boogie Down Productions was KRS-One, Scott LaRock,
DJ Scott LaRock,
and
D Nice,
and D Nice as a beatbox. That was it.
Oh, come on, Brian.
That's it.
Okay.
Now you had the
All right,
BDP posse, but they had all those, whatever. But nah, they weren't.
Okay. All right. Since Brian gonna change my answers, I would say just for change and evolution. Start to say Goody Mob.
Okay, I'll take that. I don't know about the longevity part, but
They Yeah, I would say Goody Mob. I started to say OutKast, but Goody Mob is more of a educational impact.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't market themselves. They didn't just market themselves. OutKast marketed themselves, but Goody Mob marketed the black community
Okay, I think
and
Yeah,
how.
I think they would just for me. I think they would come short with the longevity. But yeah,
Yeah,
but
well, they had 3, 4 really good albums.
they did.
2 classics, yeah.
they
But
did.
the other two were they were good. I mean, I liked it.
Okay, I only
They
thought
had
they had
some
one
commercial success.
decent album. That was the first one.
Nah, nah, they
All
they
right,
they did they did better than that.
all right. I'm gonna say Run DMC.
I started. That was my
That was gonna
first
be
one.
yours.
That was gonna be my first one.
All right, so I'm gonna close this out, and hopefully you guys will catch the next episode. We're not gonna talk about MCs, but we got some really good. Oh, Marky, give me your word of the day.
Word of the day.
Yeah.
Let's say hmm, I had one earlier today too, and I was talking to Meek. I forgot about it.
Yeah,
I have,
it was
might have to
called
go to
sleep.
somebody else. I have to go to
Sleep
somebody else
acne.
right now. Can't
All right,
Marcus was sleep apnea.
that's 2 words, but
um
Dimitri, give me the word of the day.
Um,
I know I got it. I can
All
do it.
right,
I
go
can
ahead.
do it. I'll do it. If me don't want to
and,
do it, I'll do it. It's up to him.
I was about to say it.
I'm all right.
Infidelity.
Infidelity. Okay. I don't know how it matches, but it's cool. Infidelity is the word of the day for you guys who are listening. If you get the word of the day for each episode at the end of the month, subscribe. First of all, you need to subscribe so I can send it out. But if you get the word of the day for each episode, email us those words. Spelling don't count at unlimited unfiltered.psycho4081@gmail.com, and you have the opportunity to win a prize. But thank you guys for joining, and we'll catch you at the next one. Now, as far as this episode goes, closing statement, and we'll wrap this up. Everybody claims their favorite group changed hip hop. Wu-Tang Clan didn't just change hip hop, they changed the business model, created multiple superstars, and sold millions of records, and built a cultural brand that still exists more than 30 years later. The real question isn't whether Wu-Tang Clan is the greatest hip hop group ever. The question is why people keep pretending there's serious competition. So catch us on the next one.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Unfiltered with Psycho 4081. Big respect to our guests for keeping it real, and love to every listener rocking with us week after week. This conversation ain't over yet. Stay locked in for the next episode coming soon. Until next time, keep it unfiltered with Psycho 4081.